So I got asked, Hakeem and Ralph Sampson, the Twin Towers in Houston. Um, why didn't it work? Because obviously Sampson got hurt. They did get to the finals at 1 year where they beat the Lakers. I still remember that fluky shot that Ralph Sampson shot over his head. And what would have happened if they had to stay together? Do I think it would have worked? It's hard to say. It really is. They were outmanned by that Boston team. Um, both Ralph Sampson and Olajuwon were always on the block. I think that this is one of the things that is interesting when I say this because Olajuwon was a great player. Athleticism out the yang. Yeah, he was legit. But was he that next level type of center? Hmm. Ralph Sampson was a beast in college. I remember UVA. That cat could flat out go. Speed, athleticism. He was like Victor Wemby. And he was strong. And he may have been like a four pre-closer to what you see today. But injuries got him and the lack of and I think not having the right kind of point guard in the system kind of messed with him. They were kind of an oddball pairing. Oh, the dream is to get the 2 7-footers. I was in Houston, Texas at the time when they both were playing, and it was seen as the next level of the NBA because back then you had to have skyscrapers to get in the building. And it's never talked about. They did get to the finals. They lost 6 games to the Celtics. I still remember when Ralph put the 3-4 piece on Dennis Johnson and that band-aid and all that. And Larry Bird was like, enough of this. And that stopped in 6 games. But that's when Olajuwon had people feeling him in the streets. If you were in H-Town, you know what I mean. That was during the oil situation. That was during when they had their recession. But the Olajuwon shake, boom, bam in the box was everything in them streets. Hakeem had definitely had the flavor. And he showed that he was a premier player. But he also needed to be in a better cast in the system, which later came with Rudy Tomjanovich, and later when they won their back-to-back with Clutch City, Mary Elliott, Kenny Jet Smith, Robert Ory, Vernon Maxwell, etc. That was a whole nother. And it's interesting because he was always trade bait for quite a few years. That's what people who somehow romanticize it don't always understand that he was trade bait for a lot of those years. Sampson was too. It did not seem like it was going to work, or it just like they were clogging up the middle. And it wasn't until a decade later that you got Duncan and Robinson, Tim Duncan, Darren Robinson, that the actual part totality of it got it the right way. They did it the right way. But Ralph and Olajuwon couldn't quite get it right. Olajuwon surpassed